Some people hustle for years to make a living. Others, they trip, sneeze, or make a typo, and suddenly they're millionaires. From fart apps to forgotten lottery tickets, today we're diving into 49 of the dumbest, weirdest, and most unbelievable ways people accidentally got rich. This list will make you laugh, cry, and maybe even question why you work so hard. 1. Back in 2010, a guy mined Bitcoin on his old laptop, then shoved it in a drawer and forgot about it. Years later, broken eating instant noodles, he found out the hard drive held $6 million. Imagine suffering in poverty while your computer was literally a golden goose the whole time. 2. A man bought a painting for $1 at a random yard sale, not because he liked the art, but because he thought the frame looked kinda classy. Turns out the painting was a lost Renoir worth over $1 million. His investment advice? Don't study finance, just buy ugly frames. 3. Someone once listed half a grilled cheese sandwich on eBay because the toasted bread looked like the Virgin Mary's face. The thing sold for $28,000. The buyer didn't even eat it. They kept it in a glass case. Meanwhile, the seller accidentally became rich by skipping lunch. Forget Wall Street, try stale bread. 4. A woman misheard the clerk at a gas station and bought the wrong lottery ticket. That mistake won her $20 million. Her family still can't believe bad hearing turned into a mansion. Everyone else is wasting money on noise-canceling headphones. She bought an island with her confusion. Being clueless finally paid off. 5. A guy tried selling an old car part online for $1,000 but accidentally added 2 extra zeros. Instead of lowering the price, a crazy collector thought it was rare and paid $100,000 instantly. Imagine getting rich from a typo. My typos just get me roasted in the comments, not showered in cash. 6. A guy's mom told him to clean his messy attic. While digging through junk, he found old baseball cards. Turns out one card was a rare Honus Wagner worth over $1 million. Imagine getting rich because your mom nagged you to clean your room. That's the only time chores ever paid. 7. A farmer once bought land just for grazing cows. Later, oil was discovered underneath it. He went from milking cows to swimming in black gold. Neighbors laughed when he bought the useless land. Now he owns their houses. Sometimes the dumbest luck isn't digging for treasure, it's just feeding cows. 8. A man bought an old box of trinkets at a flea market for $5. Inside, hidden under some junk jewelry, was a Fabergé egg worth millions. He almost threw it away thinking it was a toy. Imagine tossing a fortune into the trash because you thought it was a Kinder Surprise. 9. A woman accidentally invested in the wrong stock ticker, confusing one company with another. Her mistake skyrocketed when the stock blew up. She didn't even know what the company did. Wall Street professionals were furious, but she shrugged and said, "I just clicked the wrong button." That's the laziest financial genius ever. 10. A man bought a couch from a thrift store for $20. While sitting on it, he felt lumps inside the cushions. He cut it open and found $40,000 stuffed inside. He was literally sitting on a fortune the whole time. Imagine choosing Netflix over cleaning and ending up with a money couch. 11. A guy became a millionaire by selling air. Yes, he literally bottled air from the Swiss Alps and shipped it to people in polluted cities. The dumb part? He charged $200 a bottle and people bought it. Imagine working 9 to 5 while this man is literally selling burps of wind. 12. One woman made millions by selling nothing. She listed empty jars on eBay as invisible sculpture, and people actually bid thousands for thin air. The wildest part? She kept reusing the same jar. Imagine explaining to your accountant, "Yes, sir, I became rich selling zero." 13. A man won the lottery twice, with the same numbers. And guess what? He almost didn't buy the ticket because he thought it was bad luck to repeat numbers. Dumb luck turned into double millions. Meanwhile, I can't even win a free coffee scratch-off. 14. A woman found a Cheeto shaped like Harambe the gorilla and sold it on eBay for nearly $100,000. People were literally bidding on a stale, orange puff because it looked wise. Imagine explaining to your family you can't pay rent because you bought a Harambe Cheeto. 15. One guy became rich selling pet rocks. That's it. He put googly eyes on rocks, stuck them in boxes, and told people they were low-maintenance pets. He laughed all the way to the bank with millions. Meanwhile, I've been stepping over free rocks my whole life. 16. A guy found a potato chip shaped exactly like Elvis Presley's head. Instead of eating it, he put it on eBay. Fans went nuts, and someone actually paid thousands just to own a greasy, stale Elvis snack. Meanwhile, the rest of us are still eating our chips without a retirement plan. 17. One dude sold his old Pokemon cards thinking he'd maybe get a few bucks. Turns out he had the rare holographic Charizard, and collectors fought like gladiators for it. He walked away with hundreds of thousands, all because he never cleaned out his closet. Lesson? Hoarding finally paid off. 18. A woman accidentally typed the wrong domain name and decided to buy it for fun. Months later, a massive tech company needed that exact domain. They begged, they pleaded, and she sold it for millions. She literally got rich off a typo, proof that even mistakes can buy a mansion. 19. Some guy posted memes about his grumpy-looking cat, thinking it was just funny. The internet exploded, and suddenly Grumpy Cat was worth millions in merchandise, ads, and even a movie. That cat probably made more money sleeping than most of us will in our entire careers. 20. A couple discovered a box of old comic books in their attic, collecting dust. One of them turned out to be the first ever Superman comic, worth over $1 million. Imagine just tripping over cardboard in your attic and realizing you've been storing your retirement plan in a shoebox. 21. A guy found an unopened VHS tape of Back to the Future in his basement. Instead of tossing it, he put it up for auction. Collectors lost their minds and it sold for over $75,000. Imagine ignoring your student loans while someone's paying a house down payment for old plastic tape. 22. One woman became rich after her dog chewed up an old teddy bear. Turns out the stuffing inside was rare 1930s cash someone had hidden. She posted the story online, it went viral, and people started donating more money just for the luckiest dog alive. The dog literally chewed her into wealth. 23. A guy invented a useless app called Yo. It only sent the word yo to your friends. That's it, nothing else. Investors actually poured in millions for this nonsense. He became rich while the rest of us are still struggling to code our Wi-Fi passwords correctly. 24. Someone made millions selling nothing but water as fancy raw water in glass bottles. People paid insane prices because it was marketed as untouched by humans. Newsflash. So is every puddle after it rains. And yet, he laughed his way to the bank with literal puddle juice. 25. A man listed his grandma's ugly Christmas sweater online as a joke. Instead of laughs, buyers went crazy bidding on it, and he ended up starting a whole ugly sweater business that made him a millionaire. Grandma's dusty old closet turned into his fashion empire. 26. A man bought an old storage unit at an auction, hoping for random junk to resell. Instead, he opened it to find hundreds of original baseball cards from the 1950s, all in mint condition. He ended up selling the collection for millions. Imagine spending $200 on dusty boxes and suddenly discovering you're sitting on a cardboard empire that makes you richer than your entire neighborhood combined. 27. One woman accidentally microwaved a Tupperware lid, and it melted into a weird flower shape. Her friends laughed and called it art, so she started selling these warped plastic creations at local fairs. Within a year, she had investors, a brand, and people buying melted plastic for thousands. She literally became rich by turning kitchen disasters into modern art, proving even clumsy cooking can spark an empire. 28. A guy turned his face into a meme by accident. He uploaded a silly photo of himself eating a giant sandwich, and somehow it spread across the internet as the epic sandwich guy. Within months, brands started paying him to appear in ads, merch, and sponsorships. Imagine going viral for stuffing your mouth and ending up with a bigger paycheck than actual chefs on cooking shows. 29. A teenager made millions by selling an app that literally does nothing but make your phone screen sparkle with glitter when you touch it. That's it. No productivity, no utility, just shiny sparkles. Yet millions of downloads later, he was a millionaire. While most people are working themselves to the bone, this kid is lounging in gold chairs thanks to a useless glitter app. 30. A couple discovered their garden gnome collection, which they thought was tacky junk, included a rare limited edition piece worth over $200,000. Collectors battled for it, and soon the couple turned their yard full of ugly gnomes into a booming business. The dumbest part? Their neighbors had always laughed at their obsession, but now those goofy statues were paying for vacations, cars, and early retirement. 31. A man accidentally left his painting supplies in the rain, and the canvas got splattered with mud, leaves, and streaks of color. He was ready to throw it away, but a neighbor insisted it looked like modern art. He sold it for thousands. Before long, collectors were begging for more of his accidental rain art, turning pure laziness and bad weather into his personal money printer. 32. One teenager discovered a rare Beanie Baby stuffed toy at a thrift store for just $2. He thought it was ugly but bought it anyway as a joke. Later, he found out collectors valued it at over $20,000. He flipped it online and started a whole business reselling dumb stuffed animals. He became rich for doing the exact opposite of being picky while shopping. 33. A man's parrot wouldn't stop squawking random words. One day, a producer heard it and thought it was hilarious. He recorded the bird, uploaded it, and the parrot went viral worldwide. Soon it was starring in commercials, merch, and even a ringtone deal. The owner became rich because his noisy bird refused to shut up, proving pets can sometimes work harder than their humans. 34. Someone accidentally burned a pancake, and the charred blob looked like the face of a famous singer. Instead of tossing it, they sold it online as celebrity pancake art and made thousands. The story went viral, and suddenly they were getting requests to accidentally burn breakfast foods for cash. Who knew kitchen fails could become a celebrity career path? 35. A man posted a blurry selfie online, jokingly calling it the world's saddest photo. To his shock, it went viral as a meme. Brands reached out, magazines paid for interviews, and suddenly his sad, blurry face was everywhere. He made thousands simply by looking miserable on the internet, proving that sometimes a bad camera angle is the best business plan. 36. A man in California found an old video game cartridge at a garage sale for $10. It turned out to be a rare, unopened copy of Super Mario Bros. From the 80s. When he put it up for auction, collectors went wild. It sold for over $600,000, all because he wanted a piece of retro nostalgia. 37. A woman forgot about a bottle of whiskey her grandfather left in the attic. Decades later, she brought it to an auction house. Turns out it was an unopened, extremely rare vintage Macallan worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. She had almost poured it into eggnog the year before. 38. A man in New York inherited his uncle's crumbling apartment. Inside the dusty closet was a collection of old comic books, including the very first issue of Superman. That one comic alone was worth millions. The guy thought he was just getting a leaky ceiling. Instead, he got a superhero-sized bank account. 39. A couple bought a cheap set of old furniture at an estate sale. Hidden inside one of the drawers was a 17th century map collectors had been hunting for years. It was valued at nearly $1 million. They thought they were buying a rickety dresser. They actually bought a treasure chest. 40. A man ordered a used guitar online for $25. When it arrived, he noticed something rattling inside. He opened it up and found cash stuffed in the body of the guitar. Over $30,000. The seller had no idea. A random second-hand guitar ended up being the most profitable music investment ever. 41. A janitor bought an old broken chair at a flea market for $10 because he liked the wood. When he pulled the seat apart to fix it, he found rare gold coins hidden inside, dating back centuries. That busted chair turned out to be worth more than his entire yearly salary. He literally sat on treasure without knowing it. 42. A teenager in Japan bought a cheap pack of Pokemon cards and accidentally pulled a super rare Pikachu Illustrator card. Collectors lost their minds and he ended up selling it for over $200,000. He just wanted to show off to his friends at school. Instead, he got college tuition plus a sports car. 43. A man picked up an ugly vase at a yard sale for $3, planning to use it as a flower pot. Later, an appraiser revealed it was a 300-year-old Chinese dynasty vase, valued in the millions. He nearly filled it with soil and fake plastic flowers. Sometimes the ugliest junk is secretly priceless. 44. A woman bought a second-hand wedding dress online for $50. When it arrived, she noticed the hem was unusually heavy. Hidden inside the lining was a stash of diamond jewelry sewn into the fabric. She'd thought she scored a bargain on fashion. Turns out she accidentally married into fortune. 45. A man bought a box of old vinyl records for $20 at a thrift store. Inside, one rare, limited edition Beatles album caught a collector's eye and sold for hundreds of thousands. He just wanted some vintage music for his living room. Instead, he became richer than the band's tribute act. 46. A man bought an old piano at an estate sale for $40, planning to use it as decoration. When movers tilted it, envelopes stuffed with cash poured out from inside the frame. The previous owner had been hiding money in it for decades. He thought he was buying a clunky instrument. Instead, he got a jackpot symphony. 47. A kid in the US downloaded Bitcoin in the early days just to buy pizza online. He forgot about the leftover coins in his digital wallet. Years later, when he logged back in, those few bucks had ballooned into millions of dollars. He accidentally turned a snack craving into financial freedom. 48. A metal detector hobbyist in Scotland found what he thought was a bottle cap in a muddy field. Turns out it was a rare medieval crown jewel piece, valued at millions. He went from weekend nerd to royal-level rich by basically tripping over history. 49. A woman was cleaning out her grandma's closet when she found an old handbag stuffed with stock certificates. She nearly threw them away, but discovered they were still valid and worth tens of millions. The dusty purse turned out to be better than any trust fund. And there you have it, 49 of the dumbest, weirdest, and most unbelievable ways people accidentally stumbled into millions. Honestly, it makes working hard feel like the dumbest idea of all. Now tell me in the comments, which one blew your mind the most? And hey, if you're still grinding at your 9 to 5, at least make it worth it. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss more stories that prove the universe loves rewarding accidents.